So the Bay Lights is a gift to the world that is covered in playa dust. The idea for the Bay Lights comes to me about 2 weeks after being here in 2010, looking at the bridge, thinking, how can I let this beautiful underdog structure shine in the region's consciousness again? And it hit me, it could just be a canvas of light. It was a beautiful vision. I almost walked away from it, but the inspiration of this place kept me moving. And I came upon an amazing artist. I did not know him beforehand, Leo Villareal. Let's give it a hand for Leo. An internationally renowned artist who unquestionably finds his creative voice and vision here on the playa in the 90s. It's an amazing project. It was impossible, though, considered impossible on about 3 different levels. Impossible to permit, impossible to design. We know how to make pixels onto a small screen. We don't know how to really take them across 1.8 miles, 500 feet in the sky over water and over traffic. And impossible to fund. The commitment was that it would be privately funded through generosity. But on March 5th, 2013, as many of you know, that project went live. We crossed those impossible barriers. Thank you. And of course, we did it together. An amazing community. But the Bay Lights is a temporary installation. In 6 months, it's coming down. However, generosity continues to infect us. Illuminate the Arts, that's the nonprofit that was founded to bring the Bay Lights into existence, and the project really lit a path beyond itself, it shone so brightly, is working to keep the project permanent, and we've reached an agreement whereby the people who fund this project are going to gift it, all of it, to the state in exchange for the state's ongoing stewardship of this artwork. That means the Bay Lights will stay with us forever. So that culture of generosity and the gifting culture continues through right into interactions with state agencies. It's really amazing. What will happen is the Bay Lights will actually come down on March 6th, the day after the 2-year anniversary, and instantly Caltrans will leap into action. They'll begin maintaining the bridge to a high standard, actually innovating themselves with new technologies and new techniques. Then instead of getting 3 years, can get up to 10 or 15 years out of a run of painting. And then we're going to leap into action and install more robust hardware that can withstand the harsh environment of the Bay. And on February 2016, during Super Bowl 50 festivities, when 1 million extra visitors are in the Bay Area, when 120 million Americans are tuned in, 1 billion people worldwide have their eyes on the Bay Area, the Bay Lights will come back for all of us. It's going to be an amazing moment. But wait, there's more. There's another project that we're working on. People who don't know the Bay Bridge in San Francisco, there's actually 2 bridges. There's the old West Span, the beautiful 4 towers, and there's a new East Span that opened just about a year ago, a beautiful white structure with a self-anchored suspension span, an asymmetrical tower, and a long skyway that connects Oakland all the way to Yerba Buena Island, before Yerba Buena Island, and the West Span connects it all the way to San Francisco. So this San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge covers 8 miles, one of the largest bridges in the world. But the East Span, as beautiful as it is to drive through, is missing something. There was a detail that was always promised to the community as they looked at this project called the light pipe, a rail of light that went all the way from the Oakland touchdown, where you pay the tolls, all the way across the bridge on the horizon line to the Yerba Buena Island touchdown. Over 2 miles of light on both sides of the bridge, the northern and southern side of the bridge. And I saw an illustration for that, and I said, wait, where's the light? The light never made it, unfortunately. It was old technology, metal halide technology. It was expensive at $40 million. It actually fell into construction conflict with getting the bridge opened as quickly as possible, which is important to do in a place where there's earthquakes and there's a safer bridge waiting for us. And then it fell into the vortex of bad public relations and really just bureaucratic agencies that had just had enough, I think. And so the same team, however, that did the Bay Lights, who work on the Bay Bridge, credible professionals, looked at that. And they figured out with new technology, they could drop it from $40 million to $13 million. And so once again, in the spirit of generosity, community, immediacy, many of the Burning Man principles, we're in the deal of a partnership, in the process of a potential partnership with the state, whereby they would fund the baseline cost of bringing that line of light, that former light pipe, and working with ITA and all of you and everyone else, we would fund the delta. We would raise the difference to network that artwork, bring Leo back out, and create a form of aesthetic equity for the East Bay. where you guys and all of us would enjoy not just the Bay lights, but the East Bay lights. And that artwork, too, because we're working on construction schedules, could come on at that moment of the Super Bowl when there are a billion people, when the world's eyes were on the Bay Area, we could be shining our brightest. That's an amazing vision, but that's not all. Here's where the spirit of the playa really becomes powerful. You know, the story of art really informs our awareness of art, how it hits not just our brains, but our bodies. It's very possible that we can bring the cost for private donations for the Bay Lights down to about $4 million. It's also possible on the other side of this bridge that the cost to artify it, the delta between the $13 million that the state would spend on the baseline cost, our cost again would be $4 million. So now we have two projects that cost about $4 million on either side of this bay. Now we could just raise money, we could do it competitively, but the other idea in the spirit of this place and the people within it and the energy that we bring back out into the world is that we simply gift each other. San Francisco gifts the East Bay, and the East Bay gifts San Francisco. And when this bridge comes on, it's not just the bridge that's shining brightly, it's all of us. It's an amazing moment. So I'd like to have a second here where if anyone who lives in, loves, or identifies with San Francisco could raise their right hand and just stick it a little bit out to the right. Keep it up, please. Anybody who lives in, loves, or identifies with the East Bay, please raise your left hand. Now, I would like you to just take a moment and look around and find someone who has the opposite hand raised, or in your case, both hands. You know, I'm not asking you to do anything right now than to bring intention. You know, at some point I want you guys to join those hands, and I want to inspire the rest of the world with what generosity can do for us. And I want this bridge to become a beacon, not just for this place, of course, but for that spark within all of us, that desire to reach out, that desire to connect, that desire to be generous, that ability to inspire one another, and let the Bay Lights not just be a beacon of possibility, but the entire Bay Bridge be a shining example of what it's like to be a human. Thank you.